Yo, what is up, people on the internet? Nerds of all types, folks. This is bonus stage. You are on a Let's Listen, and I'm here with my topless man, Alan. Alan, brah, what's hanging, dude?
Totally.
Totally. Wow. Oh, sick, brah. Well, we're gathered here this fine evening to celebrate the release of King of Rad Lions, a surf rock tribute to Wind Waker, brah. Oh my God, Alan, it's been a few GameGrooves albums since we had you on here, dude. Yeah, I'm totally lost on what this album title means, bro. What the hell is a King of Rad Lions?
First of all, brah, I just want to say thank you again for having me on here.
Oh, bro. Oh,
It's been totally rad. So yeah, this album is like it's been a great time. King of Rad Lions, rad is like cool. Lions are also really fucking cool, man. So King of Rad Lions, like you can't top that, right? Like King of Rad Lions.
okay, Alan. Let's like break character here for a second. I have not played Wind Waker. I am such a pleb, dude. Can you actually please make some sense of this for me?
Yes. For a quick second, we'll break character and then we'll go back. King of Red Lions. So King of Red Lions is the boat that's behind you. And so when Link is on his adventure across the Great Sea, he is in the King of Red Lions. And I was looking for an album title, and somebody suggested King of Rad Lions. And since it's a surf rock tribute, it seemed like a perfect pairing. So, yes, back in character.
Sick, brah. Oh, that totally makes sense to me now. Thank you, brah. Oh man. Conflagrations or whatever that means. I'm trying to say thank you. Yeah, so this is a surf rock tribute album. Obviously, the marriage of surf rock and that heavy ocean theme from the Wind Waker game, they come together so naturally, dude. I mean, was that just kind of like an easy pitch to get this album together, or like what, man? Like, what started you on this journey?
Such a just a good question, man.
Yeah.
I walked outside and I saw the weather and I was like, the weather outside is weather. And so I just thought surf rock. No, I can't keep this up for the whole time. In all
All good, man.
seriousness,
It's all good.
in all seriousness. So it's kind of funny. We actually had another album planned for later on in the year, and things kind of shifted around. So I was looking for something because there was a big gap between Milk Bar, which was our last album, EDM tribute to Majora's Mask, and we have another album coming out in January. It's a Metroid Prime album. It's a Metroid Prime album. That's right. You heard it here first. In celebration of my favorite game of all time in MagFest. So, um, I was just trying to spitball some ideas, and I really enjoyed doing the Majora's Mask album. And so, Wind Waker has kind of been on my mind for a long time. It's one of my favorite games. It's my favorite Zelda. It's my favorite Zelda game. It's my favorite Zelda soundtrack. So originally I was thinking about doing an EDM album next year, but then I don't know how it came to me, and I don't know where it came from, but essentially I was like, well, surf rock Wind Waker makes sense because it's an entire game set on the ocean, right? And a lot of the songs kind of have like an upbeat vibe, so I figured that would translate well. Like it wouldn't really work, I don't think, as well for like Majora's Mask or like Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess and Majora's Mask have like more melancholy to their arrangements and stuff. So yeah, that's where we got the idea. And then I pitched it and people were on board immediately and the ball started rolling. And that's usually how I know. It's like there's only been a couple times where ideas have fizzled out, but if people are excited, that's always a good sign. Makes my job a lot easier. So I don't have to like keep bugging people. Like people will just be sending me tracks without me chasing them down and knocking doors down and, swatting their houses.
Doxing them.
Not that I've
Oh,
ever done that.
wow. No, sure haven't. No, nothing incriminating here. Well, yeah, I mean, you must have gotten some great response. I mean, there's some key players in the VGM scene who already do surf rock covers,
Right.
and they are represented here on the album. But you also have a lot of other people jumping on that bandwagon. Some really good names here, and people that we've seen as part of your past projects as well. Um, yeah, dude, and you got 11 tracks in total. Was it hard to get to 11 tracks, or was it hard to just whittle down to 11
We
tracks?
we had a couple of people that had to drop off for one reason or another, but obviously, honestly, one of my the biggest inspirations for me in the VGM scene as far as surf rock goes is somebody that I'm not sure if they're still producing music or still producing surf rock covers. 130 Grit Sound Studio, Andrew Monet's. He was in Game Lark, the previous group that I ran. And anyways, he's been doing surf rock covers for quite some time. I knew Audio Mocha was somebody else who's really really good at making surf rock covers. So when I was first coming up with the idea, I actually ran it by him first and was like, hey, you think this is a good idea? And he was like, yes please. So I gave
How
him
was
first
he gonna
pick.
say no? Like, honestly.
Right. And then honestly, we had a couple other people, the Surfle Jerks, who also do like surf rock, and Feller, that also kind of I think do a lot of surf rock outside of just VGM. But yeah, we had some real surprises here. Saya Sounds, I wasn't aware that Saya could do surf rock. Pokerus really surprised me a lot. Allison Martin, honestly, like half the artists on here really surprised me by pulling out some serious chops. And we even had a brand new artist, Bobson Dugnut Jr., which is totally not an alias,
That's a
dude.
gnarly name,
Totally a
dude.
real person. Bobson Dugnut Jr.
And Pegster
Bobson
McDudson.
Dugnut
What?
Jr.
So people are pulling out some aliases here, man.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, it was easy to get everybody on board, and that was the greatest part.
Yeah, dude. No, it's solid. I've listened through. I've had a cursory listen. I've had a cursory listen, dude, of this album.
Roger.
It's solid. It's solid all throughout. And as somebody who hasn't played Wind Waker, yeah, the ocean is there. The ocean is there in sonic form, sonic waves, dude. Um, yeah, and we've got 11 tracks to listen to. We've got a few guests who are joining us tonight. I don't know if they're gonna do any like South Cali cool dude acts or not. I'm not gonna hold my breath, but you guys can give it a shot if you're feeling brave. Oh man. Yeah, but I think I'm just excited to give our first listen here. Are you ready for that, Alan?
Yeah.
Right on. Well, we've got Poker's project opening up with Outset Island. We've got Bobson Dognut Jr., totally real person, with Inside the Pirate Ship. That is featuring Rahul Vanamali, who we just had on Bonus Stage Ultimate here. Allison Martin is going to give her cover of the Windfall Island theme. And Ian Martin features Ronan Op F and Vron Media to cover the title theme. Alan,
Let's
listen. Oh, brah. Yo,
Hella sick, bro. Hella sick. Just hella
hella.
sick.
Yeah, brah. Oh my god. And speaking of hella, we are now joined by one hella of a dude, Ian Martin, who performed the track that we just heard. Also, along with Ronan Op F and Vron Media. I said it in chat, but there is already quite a diverse spread of arrangements here. It's still in the vein of surf rock, but everybody's kind of got their own little flavor on that, bringing in lots of experience from other arrangements and stuff. Yeah, Ian, how are you doing tonight, brah?
Good, good. Long time no see.
It certainly hasn't been 48 hours since we talked about video game music. Oh man,
Right.
no, but you had the honor of arranging the title theme for this album with good friends Ronan and Vron, of course. Yeah, how did you settle on doing the title theme?
I love the title theme. It's honestly like I'm one of those. I'm like you, Josh. I haven't played this game. Um,
Pleb
Bruh.
for
but
life.
Bruh. Bruh.
but I love
Yeah.
I love that. I love the title theme. It's like totally slip jig feel, and so I was just like, how can I make this work with surf rock? But I already knew it, so I had to pick it. I'm glad I got in early enough to snag it.
Yeah, that's got to be a popular
So
one for sure.
yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, and then like arranging it in the way that you did, like what was that like to be like, oh, here's the source material and here's what I'm gonna do with it.
Yeah, I mean, so ironically, I have a lot of experience taking things in like four. A lot of game music is in four, and shoving it into like six or nine, like turning it into a jig or a slip jig. Actually, in this group that Jay and I are both in, called Nadina Laird, with some other people from Dwelling of Duels, and so I just had to go the other way with it for this. So
Take the
just kind
dial and
of
turn it all the way to the other end.
to the other end, right? Yeah. No, but I was, super glad that Jay and Viron joined me on this. Definitely made it come to life for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I
yeah,
mean, Ronan's obviously playing violin.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What did you?
Viron's on the drums.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So
Solid team.
yeah, she totally took my like crazy whatever notation and turned it into something that sounded awesome. So
No, it
thanks
certainly
for putting up with that, Viron.
sounds. Yeah, shout outs to Viron. Oh my god,
Yeah,
she's a champ. Oh man,
yeah, yeah.
very chill vibe. Absolutely. Well, shoot, Ian. I mean, I'm used to having like so much more to talk to you about because we're on the show so often.
Yeah, I
But
know, right?
it's such a sweet and simple track. You obviously did a sweet and awesome thing with it. But yeah, I
Thanks.
loved it.
Yeah,
Loved
thanks. I'm just, grateful to be here, and like I've done a couple of VGM surf rock things in the past, but it's been a few years, so I'm glad I got to do one again.
Nice, Alan. Is there anything else that you want to add about Ian's track or about any of the other four tracks that we just heard?
Yeah, I didn't know he didn't play Wind Waker, so that's like blowing my mind. No.
Yeah.
Why doesn't anybody play this game? No. What would I add? So, yeah, I'd say a couple things. Obviously, for those wondering, first off, Bobson Dugnut Jr. Who is Bobson Dugnut Jr.? The son of Bobson Dugnut Sr., obviously.
Wow. Way to answer
Secondly,
that question. Good answer. Good question. Good
Yeah.
answer. Yeah.
secondly, yeah, it's interesting because, like I said, Pokerus, I wasn't expecting Pokerus to pull out Surf Rock. Ian's a chameleon, so I'm not surprised. Ian can do like death metal, everything from death metal to chamber music. I think he's just that like what's the RPG term for it? But like jack of all
Cross
trades,
class.
which is
Red Mage.
Red.
yeah, I don't know, like just super versatile. But I want to give a shout out to Allison Martin. I know Ro's watching. I don't know if Allison is, so Ro can tell Allison. When I heard Allison's track for the first time, I know her primarily from her trombone playing, and so I kind of assumed incorrectly that Ro had performed on the track, and I was like, "Oh, did you collaborate with Ro on this?" And she's like, "No, it was 100% me." I was like, "What?" So I feel like Allison, especially with her latest album, Heartseeker, she's really like showing her chops as an arranger, and despite what she might think, she's also like really cementing herself as a versatile performer too. So I wanted to give that shout out to really everybody involved in this album, even the people that I expected to deliver absolutely delivered, and I honestly was surprised by so many tracks. It was wonderful, and honestly, like I think that I found with this game, it's interesting. Like most of the tracks that you're seeing on here, we don't have um, too many like dungeon or temple tracks. It's a lot of the overworld tracks or a lot of town or like themed areas. Like Dragon Roost Island is a really popular track because it conveys a sense of identity through the music. And I think that what spoke to me so much about Wind Waker's music is there's a lot of Celtic influences in the soundtrack. For whatever reason, it just works. So it's like every track you're kind of getting a little different slice, and that's how the game is. Like every time you go to an island, there's slightly different things going on there. So makes for a fun listen. And like you said, there's a lot of diversity within the surf rock genre. I'm not a genre police, even though I look like a cop right now,
VGM is not a genre.
blow it. Um, yeah, I try to give artists a lot of leeway when it comes to genres. I don't want to, stifle their creativity. Artists, they like to do their thing, and I'm like, in the big box.
Alan's just sounding like a producer over there. Artists, man, they just do their thing, man. You can't control that.
You can't control them,
Oh
I'm
my
teasing.
god.
They're all lovely people, and they're totally not holding me hostage ever.
Totally.
I was gonna say, why would you want to
Totally.
control? They're doing really great on their own. Yeah, Ian, we'll let you go for now. We're gonna get back to you later at the end of the show, anyways. But thanks for chiming in about your wonderful track with
Well,
Ronan and Vron.
yeah, well, thank you.
Awesome. And speaking of artists, Alan, we have some
Word.
incredible album art on this one as
Yes.
well. I love how very true to the game. You've got Link's eyes just kind of rendered over his hair. He looks like he's having a rad time, bro. He's not
Wow.
quite hanging 10. He's not quite hanging anything, but he's still on a massive wave,
Could be
bro.
hanging 11 because there's 11 tracks.
Whoa.
Also, that sounds vaguely
Yeah.
not appropriate. But anyways.
Okay. Wow. I didn't think of that until you pointed it out, man. Why
Anyways.
don't you just totally shift gears and point out the artist?
Awesome artwork? Yeah, absolutely. So the awesome artwork was done by Twanix. I'm not going to say her name correctly. Anyways, she's done several different GameGrooves albums and covers, including, let's see, the most recent one would be Limit Breaker. She did the Limit Breaker album art. And for this one, I told her, I want Link riding a surf wave, something simple. I drew a lot of inspiration from old surf rock covers, which 90% of them are people riding a wave, obviously. And then it was really the trickiest part of the album art was how do we let people know that this is Link without getting Nintendo's lawyers after us? So I told her originally she had him in his full garb without the hat. And I said, lose the shirt because he's surfing, right?
Who's the shirt
Tarps
like
off,
Alan?
boys. Tarps
Just
off.
like Alan, yeah.
Yeah. Anyone know that reference? Tarps off, boys? All right. Anyways.
Sorry.
I was gonna say you're Canadian and you don't know Letterkenny? Come on, man. Yeah, so I said shirts off, and then for the surfboard, we had originally thought about doing something more intricate or maybe having him on the ship, but I was like, no, just simplify it, red surfboard with a design that looks like King of Red Lions. And then I told her, maybe do some kind of island, like fuzzy island stuff in the background. And then she just delivered it and it was done. And honestly, it was just a matter of getting the font right. So once again, it's just a pleasure to work with these artists. And honestly, they're open for commission. You know, I was saying this beforehand, but I work with 3 artists primarily for GameGrooves releases. Twinix, who's I think mostly on Blue Sky now. Emma Hawthon, who's done several album art covers, and then Don Corgi, who did all the like GameGrooves logos and stuff, and he did a Milk Bar release as well. So please, if you enjoy these album covers, reach out to them. They're wonderful people. They are very communicative, which is huge when you're working on projects. And then they're very affordable. So yeah, righteous.
Amazing.
Righteous.
What?
Righteous. Dude.
Sorry, bro. I keep tripping over your words, bro. I keep cutting you off. But bro, it's totally like link me, get it? Because just totally link me to those rad artists, and we'll make sure that everybody in the chit chat knows where they're at. Sick, brah. Well, we got another 4 sick, awesome brah tracks coming up. Yeah, we are gonna be listening to Little Z's. I'm gonna say it again in the Canadian style. Little Zed's Surfy Slumber Party.
Nope. Stop. There's no Zed. Zed is not a letter. It's Z.
Bro,
this is a pet peeve. We're about to throw down over the.
My God, my culture is your pet peeve. Fuck right off, Alan. We're gonna listen to the Surfle Jerks with Little Zed's Surfy Slumber Party. Followed by Dragon Roost Island by Lucas Guimarães, featuring various artists. God, I love those albums that come out from various artists. Those are some really good albums. They put out so much. And then we're going to have the Grandma theme from Pegster McDudson, another totally real person. And then Cool Dancin' Feller are going to give us a little taste of their mini boss. Yeah, Alan?
Let's
listen. Haha, totally tubular, dude. Oh my god.
Thanks, dude. It was gnarly. Past tracks were sick, bro.
Wow. All right, man. Yeah. Well, we are joined here by Lucas Graphics User Interface Mares, and not joined by various artists. Lucas, what was it like to work with the acclaimed various artists?
Indeed, indeed. Gotta work with some sick people, man. They put out the vibes and they really rode the waves on this. There was John Zelda on lead guitar, Ian Cowell ripping on the rhythm guitar, Kev Ragone ripping on the drums, Sean Hansen surfing on the auxiliary percussion, Darmok slamming on the bass, Angry Polar Bear whipping out that organ, and Ronan OPF hanging 10. Okay, that was, I did not have that bit prepared. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm done with the bit.
That's okay, man. You're done with it. Great.
I'm done with the bit. We're done with the bit. But
We're
yeah, no, that was my way of
Slapping the
public
bass.
crediting.
Slapping the bass. You know what I'm saying?
Slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass.
God. That bit is overdone. Okay, we can move the fuck on from that one. Wow. But Dragon Roost Style, I mean that is a very rhythmically intense one. But I like how you just kind of like deconstructed it a little bit and smoothed out some of those rougher edges coming from that fucking mandolin, man.
Wait, there was a mandolin? Oh, wait. Oh, the mandolin in the original track. I was like, there's not a mandolin in this one. There's an acoustic. No. This is actually the first track in probably a long while that I have an acoustic guitar over there, and I barely ever record with it, but this recording justified it because there are a couple of very small sections where I have acoustic guitar layered, and it adds a really nice, like, if you don't listen for it, you're probably not going to hear it, but it adds a really nice texture for some of the slower sections.
Hell yeah. Well, folks, you should definitely hit the link that's in chat that's pinned for the album so you can go and purchase it for yourself and find that for yourself. All of Lucas's hard work on that acoustic guitar that he barely plays. Go and appreciate it.
I need to play it more. There was a time when guitar was my main instrument, but yeah, no, I was really happy to have the collaborators for this one because we brought together most of the live musicians we had at Audio Mocha Set from VGM Con, and that was just a really fun experience. I'm even wearing two of them are actually in another band, Dog Food for Bananas, and I'm even wearing their shirt right now.
Oh, damn. It is the brightest shirt you own of that, I'm sure.
Probably, yeah. That's Ronan OPF and Angry Polar Bears bands. But yeah, no. Yeah, it was just, this was a really, I think the most interesting thing that I can talk about with this track compared to other tracks I've done is this is the first time, because we had the time from when I finished the arrangement to the final mix, to do a round robin recording. And there was a lot I learned in the process. And we did it like, how we did it was, we had drums in first with Kev, then we had Sean's percussion in. Then after we had those two, it was a bass, electric guitar, and then we had the leads record, and then I passed it around for mixing. So it was very layered system, which kind of allowed for a lot of feedback during it. Definitely, I'm not sure if I would do round robin for all of my projects in the future involve a lot of other people, but I'll definitely be doing some more round robin when time permits. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, it's good for everybody to be able to hear the parts as they're built up and get to play off each other's nuances and or not. You know,
I wish I edited everyone's parts a little bit more as I got them in, but time wasn't very kind to me.
Oh God! And then as you're reaching the deadline and you're still getting tracks, I can.
Oh yeah, there was
not just one deadline.
Well, what made you pick Dragon Roost Island? Like, have you played Wind Waker?
I have played Wind Waker, actually. Okay. It's probably, it used to hop around. It's probably my second favorite Zelda, and there's a lot of I think Wind Waker is probably the one that I go back to a lot in terms of like aesthetic, soundtrack, and everything else. Like a lot of the auxiliary details. It's got some of the highest highs in the series for me in multiple regards. But one of my in fact, like I was like so confused when I was like a youngin' teenager looking on the internet, and people were like, "I don't like this toony art style," and I'm like, "What the heck? It's great. I don't get it."
It's a video game. Just play the freaking game, man.
It's a freaking game. It's an artistic choice. That doesn't mean Link is always going to look like that. But anyways, Dragon Roost Island. I'm not like 100% sure, but it's probably my favorite Zelda song. So as soon as I saw that open, I was just like, Dragon Roost, Dragon Roost, Dragon Roost. Like I gotta do it. There was a lot of other tracks so like as I was seeing tracks claim, there was like half of the tracks that I was like, oh man, I could have totally done that too, but I was really happy to do Dragon Roost. It's just such an iconic song. At this point, I feel like I know it more for being in Smash Bros. With the with just playing it and just like having it on Zelda stages.
Yeah, beautiful job, man. Yeah, Dragon Roost Island, folks. Lucas Guimarães, not graphics user interface. Like
Guimarães.
The last couple times.
Graphics user interface. I did do graphics, however, for the previous listening party that I was on the bonus. I was about to say the bonus stage album. The
Snow
donations
stage.
go to bonus stage and snow stage. We did. I did do the art for that album. Not this one though. That's Trisonics.
No, man. Yeah. Well, we'll get you back on towards the end of the show, but thanks for coming on and shedding some light on your track and all of those various artists.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you in a bit. Alan, what the heck, man? We had like 3 other tracks that we listened to. Surfle Jerks. Was that your first time working with Surfle Jerks before? I don't know. Sorry, that sentence came out weird.
No. That is. I think Ian Martin. Yeah, Ian Martin was the one that recommended I talk with them, and then they do surf rock, obviously, as their name implies, as a full-time thing. So I was like, well, this makes sense. And then Pexter McDouton, actually, that is his primary artist name. I don't know if it's his birth name, but no. He's been on several. He was on our Banjo-Kazooie folk album, so he does a lot more folk acoustic kind of stuff. So I was kind of surprised that he pulled out some very, like, I called it like surfer lullaby, like, or like the slow dance, like in the 60 movies where they're like the fire's lit and all the people are dancing and I don't know, whatever.
Rock Lobster,
yeah. Like Happy Days or some shit. And Cool Dance of Feller. Cool Dance is cool and he's dance. Yeah. But no, he's I believe Feller is Feller, now that I keep saying out loud, sounds like a southern rock group, but I don't know what the name means to them. But anyways, they're like I think a punk band, or I don't know. I'm just making shit up at this point. He knows them, they're a band. They did a great job. Mini Boss actually liked that one because that had we had like a good variety in terms of tempos, you know. It never got like the album never gets too intense. You'll see with these last 3 tracks. It gets the most intense with Sayus, probably, but it's never like, you know, like dark. It's just kind of like intense. So the Mini Boss was a nice like driving riff kind of thing. Kind of like you're on a mission. Like I could see that like driving down the road, like, you know, outrunning the police maybe.
Yeah. Cool Dance says he drums for Feller. It's like skate punk.
Skate punk. I was half right. Punk.
There you go. Yeah.
Skate punk.
Just missing the skate. Skate is also like another like gnarly vernacular, you know, so very adjacent.
We'll do a skate punk album for the next Zelda one.
Nice. All the Zeldas in all of the variations of rock and punk.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I also need to make special mention of the mastering because, you know, once again, bringing a whole bunch of collaborative musicians from all different disciplines and all different styles of arrangements and stuff like that, making that a cohesive sonic experience for the listener. No small task. And the mastering is done by...
I forget his name.
Wow.
I'm
Wow,
teasing.
dude. Oh, come on. You're joshing me.
No. James C. Hoffman, who has been mastering Game Grooves albums since before you were born. No. He's been doing like the majority of Game Grooves albums, and he's again very versatile. He's actually, you know, a great guy, somebody I would consider a good friend too. So he's instrumental to Game Grooves, you know, sound and I would say limited but relative success. Financially limited in terms of like emotional satisfaction, great success.
Impact, feels, all
Yeah.
that, man. Yeah, very
Game Grooves for Impact. There you go. There's our, there's our next album title.
Game Grooves for Impact. Wow. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Deep Impact. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just my word
You just
association
named
brain
it
just
Titanic.
just got triggered here. Yeah. Oh my god. Well, I'm sad to say we only have 3 more tracks to listen to. We've got Molgera, as made by Jiggy Tones. Love that
Yep.
name. Saya Sounds is here with us to talk after listening about his Ganondorf battle track, and of course, you know, how could you not get Audio Mocha on? And he closes the album with his rendition of the Ocean theme. So I'm ready to dip my toes in and hang 10. Alan, let's
Listen.
Sick, brah. Oh, brah. Oh, brah, brah, brah. Brah, brah, brah. That's
Yeah.
that's that's the album. We listened to it. Let's listened to it. Oh my god. Sorry guys, that was terrible. You know what's not terrible? We are joined now by Saya Sounds, who performed the Ganondorf battle that you also watched him play fight Ganon for real. You
Yeah,
did
Wait,
that.
that was you,
really happened.
bro.
Hmm.
Wow,
That was amazing. I
crazy.
can't believe you fought Ganondorf and also arranged a surf track. That's
All at once. Yeah, I'm about to say
that's,
I'm a busy bee. What can I say?
that's some multitasking right there, man. Oh man. No, but for real, man. Awesome Ganondorf take on that track. Yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it? Like were you like, I have to do the Ganondorf battle, obviously.
So when I got the email that there was going to be a Zelda or Wind Waker Surf Rock, I originally originally I was looking at like maybe doing Outset Island or Dragon Roost Island, and I saw those were already taken. It's like, well, I want to do something because this game has a lot of significance to me because it is my fiance's favorite Zelda game. And it's like, well, I listened to the Ganondorf battle theme, like just I was at work and just like cycling through all the tracks, like I don't know, this sounds the most surf rocky to me, or I could do something with it. And I'd always wanted to do something with like a final boss theme from some game. And there we go.
That's it. That's the whole dang story.
Mhm.
No. I mean, come on. Yeah. Just I don't know. I don't think of final boss battle. Yes, that definitely matches up with Surf Rock. Yeah. How did you approach arranging that?
Ooh, that is a good question. So, something I was kind of saying back in the green room is, like I've been a pianist primarily, a drummer second, and just because of that, I put a lot of stock into how I do drums and percussion, and just especially for the kind of like the build up, and just kind of like a whole fighting vibe. I felt that that was going to be where I would start, have everything else follow through as well. I listened to enough surf rock to figure it's like, well, like I can throw in some organ, I can throw in some theremin, and hope that it works.
Yeah.
It
No,
worked,
I don't
man.
think you had to hope. I think it worked.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Alan, your thoughts on Ganondorf battle and or the other two tracks that we just heard?
Righteous. No.
Righteous.
Righteous.
Bruh.
Everybody in
Shell, man.
SoCal hates us right now.
I know. Pissing off all of California. That's all right. I'm an East Coast, Beast Coast. Doesn't matter. So, yeah, there are a couple interesting things. One, Jiggy Tone's Molgera. That was actually, somebody had to unfortunately drop off the album for, I think it was health reasons, actually. And I was looking at some of the other tracks that dropped off, but Molgera stood out to me as like, okay, this I can hear in my head as surf rock. I really want someone to take this over if they can. And so Jiggy Tones like stepped up with like I think 3 or 4 weeks left before the deadline, and he totally delivered. And then Seiya was super inspired because he was the first track that I got for the album. So I want to give him. I should get like a little plaque or something to give to like first. I don't want to encourage people to rush, but still, it's
a little
always
tiny
a fun
surfboard
feeling.
with your name on it. Yeah.
Well, it's a fun feeling because then it starts feeling like, hey, this thing's actually real. Like at first, it's just an idea, and then it becomes reality. So, and obviously, as I was saying in the green room, there's a lot of things I love about that cover, but I especially like the percussion section. I love the driving rhythm that really makes you feel like you're fighting Ganondorf. It makes you feel like Link, feel like Toon Link. 8.9 out of 10. So, no, it was a 10 out of 10 track. And also, great job on the footage. I really wish they would port Wind Waker to the Switch. I also feel like I also wanted to just take a second and hijack this stream to say they should make a Wind Waker sequel, because I feel like after the success of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, can you imagine like a more have larger land masses and smaller land masses, I feel like it'd be really cool. But anyways, that's my 2 cents. I feel like we need a Wind Waker sequel, and then that would give you time to play Wind Waker if they re-release it. So, and lastly, Audio Mocha was actually the first person I talked to about the album, since he's a surf rock aficionado, as they say. And he was 100% on board as soon as I told him. And since I knew that he was, a surf rock aficionado, I told him, you have first dibs, whichever track you want. So he picked Ocean, which is a great choice. But yeah, he just knocked it out of the park. And I mean, it's a tough track to cover because it's like Dragon Rose Island, which, taking a second to give credit where credit's due, Lucas really made that his own. I think I like that the style kind of kept changing slightly for that track. And I feel like with Audio Mocha, it had a nice journey with his track as well. So overall, yeah, just lots of love. Surf, Sun and Zed.
Wow, dude, you were bashing that Zed like 20 minutes ago. We got you on the train.
Yep.
By the end of the stream. I appreciate that. No, thanks for coming around, Alan.
I do what I can.
From Alan to Zed. Oh my god. Well, yeah, folks, that's King of Rad Lions, a surf rock tribute to the Wind Waker. Hope you've all enjoyed yourselves this evening. We've got Ian and Lucas joining us for a little goodbye. Josh or Gosh, oh my god. Wow. Okay. Let the debate happen somewhere else, because we're gonna wrap things up here.
Is it GIF or GIF?
Yep.
Josh, the pressure's on.
Oh man. What? No. It's like the peanut butter is Jif. Excuse me.
Alan, don't you want to have something you want to announce?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's coming up next for GameGrooves?
I don't know. What am I supposed to announce?
You tell me.
It's your announcement.
I already said Metroid Prime. No, our next album is Metroid Prime. Wave Beam, a synthwave tribute to Metroid Prime, which will be releasing. Give me 1 second. Sometime in January. God, I gotta start reading these things well. January 12th. So right before MagFest. So that's like our, it's my favorite game of all time. It's one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. And as soon as MagFest announced their theme, I was like, we're doing it. We're doing this. I don't care if Metroid Prime 4 never comes out. I actually do care. But I'm like, regardless, I was kind of waiting for them to announce it, but it's never going to happen. My hopes are just, I don't have hope anymore. I have the same level of hope for that happening as I do Slipknot for putting out another good album. So
Shade.
Oh man, there hasn't been a good one since Iowa, I think. That's a hot take. Oh man.
No, it's a correct take. Volume 3 could have been great with better production.
Yeah,
everything after,
maybe some better hits. I don't know.
Yeah,
I like songs off of Slipknot albums. There's very few albums in full that I enjoy, but that is neither here nor there. Why don't we get a little input from everybody else? Ian, anything else coming up for you that you're excited about?
Too much. Yeah, there's always a ton of fun releases coming
stuff
out.
He can't talk about because I will train this night.
Yeah, because he will, because he knows where I live. So Alan, yeah.
Don't make me take.
There's a
couple of things. Oh wait, were you still going, Ian? Sorry.
Oh no. We just did Snow Stage, so I'll plug that. Why not?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, we did Snow Stage, definitely. So it's out on Bandcamp right now, and we're still waiting for it on streaming. Ian and I are both on that. Another album that Ian and I are both on is the first GameGrooves charity album that's been released on Bandcamp. So we've had, I think, 10 GameGrooves charity albums, Alan? I don't know. something like that. But we're having the first one to celebrate Ocarina of Time's 25th anniversary album.
Oh, thank you for
Probably
plugging
my favorite track. You're welcome. My favorite. That one is my favorite track I've done on it yet, with my take with Charles Ritz of Kakariko Village. So I'm really pumped for people to hear that. That comes out December 12th on streaming in Bandcamp. In addition, I have a Final Fantasy viola quartet album, something absolutely nobody asked for. It is about 10 tracks.
I mean,
and
maybe
I
viola
did that
players asked for that. They don't get enough representation.
Well, they're going to certainly get a lot more representation starting very soon, because to celebrate Final Fantasy's, I think, 37th anniversary, we're doing 37th or 38th, I forget. It's Final Fantasy's anniversary on December 18th. We are going to have a Final Fantasy, the first volume of Final Fantasy viola quartet arrangements. It is an album purely like album art done by me, mastering by me, performances by Andrew Steffen of Ethereal String Orchestra, and I'm very impressed with it. I'm very amazed with it, especially because it is a 2-man production. There was no one else pretty much through the entire process. And as if that weren't enough, December 20th, I also have, and these are like all set, all approved by Sounddrop, so I don't have to worry about any shenanigans. I also have, I was going to do this initially for Dwelling of Duels, but I didn't finish it in time. It was a ragtime EP of Wild Arms tracks, and that is coming out December 20th. So yeah, two things almost back to back. It wasn't intentional, but I was like, screw it, I just need to get it out this year. So, and if someone doesn't like viola, it's okay. Here's piano for you. And if you don't like that either, I'm sure I'll have something for you. And you will like my Nujabe's influence track on the December 12th. So yeah, lots of a trilogy of kind of stuff coming out that I'm super pumped about.
Right on. Saya, how about yourself?
So aside from just some music commissions here and there, my big thing is I have been working on a soundtrack to a roguelike that we started production on just about a year ago. And I think we have a demo out. It's called Rogue Labyrinth. It's on Steam. At least the demo's on Steam. And I'm really excited where things are going to go with that. So that's been kind of what I've been doing. I've also been at least kind of starting on a concept for a VGM cover album. I think I talked to you a little bit about it at one time, Alan. I'll say it's something that's kind of Mario Kart related, but I still need to get to see if we can get things licensed. But we'll talk later. But if it's a thing that can happen, I will actually want to collaborate with people, which is a thing that I don't normally do, but I want to do more of. So if anything, I will hit up Lucas for this, because he seems to be the guy in the know for that sort of thing.
No, he needs to deliver other stuff. He's busy.
Yep.
Everyone fight over him now.
Yep.
Oh my god. All right, cool. No, I'm looking up Rogue Labyrinth. I'm gonna add that to my wish list.
I
appreciate it. Thank you.
I also have to plug some other stuff, because I'm sorry, there's been so much going on, and Lucas reminded me hey, you have a GameGrooves charity album coming out next week.
It's what I'm here for now. I'm
he's part of the High Council, so he's allowed to do that. Yes. As Lucas was saying, this is a really cool album. Actually, let's see, David Russell and David Eric Ramos produced it. So it's a lot of the old guard from the YouTube era, but also newer artists. That's coming out, like I said, next week. We created a separate Bandcamp artist, so we're going to start putting GameGrooves charity albums up on there, so I can kind of keep them separate in my head for revenue purposes and that kind of thing. Also, we had our first GameGrooves album challenge EP come out with VROM Media's Stardew Valley, Deep in the Mines, a tribute to Stardew Valley. Last week, Heartseeker came out by Allison Martin. I did mention that one. And obviously this album's coming out as well. So there's just been a slew. I feel like this month, the last month, maybe month and a half, has just been a barrage of really good video game music albums. So I'm sorry, everybody.
Packing them in until the
I'm sorry,
end of the
we're
year,
trying
man.
to get these all out.
Oh gosh, I wish we could.
Here we are throwing one more album into the mix. So just say sorry to your wallets.
Ian, I think you said you had one more thing.
Yeah. I just Sire reminded me of this. I'm also scoring a game. It's called Spectrum of Hybrids. It's going to be out on January 31st, and I'm planning to do a soundtrack release for that as well. So,
Nice.
yeah, just wanted to plug that.
Hell yes, awesome. Well, and folks, if you are enjoying these listening parties, we have a couple more coming up before the end of the year. Next week, oh my God, hold on, I need to bring my notes up
See?
here.
It's been a busy time.
We've got a listening party for our friends Mon and Angel and Carrie, who are forming a new band called Premium Vintage, and they are releasing their first album, The Symphony of Hades. A whole bunch of Hades covers and stuff. They've got some amazing guests on that album as well. And I have yet to actually publish the event, but Ronan Op F, who you heard from a little bit today, is also releasing a Zelda themed album. This one from Link's Awakening, and it's a mix of his live violin and some lo-fi type beats. It's really freaking cool, and I can't wait for that. So yeah, tune in next week for some more Let's Listens. Yeah, folks, I've been Josh. These guys have been who they are, and it's been a totally tubular rad time. Thanks everybody for coming in, and we'll see you on the next one.
Righteous.
Righteous. Righteous.
Hang 10.
Or out.